nachos. The perfect combination of crunch and cheesy goodness. Dating all the way back to the 1940s in Piedras Negras, Mexico, nachos have absolutely become a North American staple, from restaurants to game day parties to ballparks. Now, what if I told you that there was a way for you to recreate nachos that have the classic look and quality taste of regular nachos, but using all plant-based ingredients? Don't think it's possible? Impossible! Well, stick around, because by the end of this video, I think I will be able to convince at least one of you. Now let's take a look at what all we're going to be using to create this delicious masterpiece. Now, I'm a firm believer that any good nachos recipe has to have the right cheese. It has to be creamy, it has to have that cheesy flavor and the right consistency. Something that we like to call the lava effect. You know, where it's just running all down the sides and oozing everywhere like it's flowing from a mountaintop, like overflow. For this recipe, we're going to be using our go-to cashew cheese, which obviously is dairy-free. Impossible! I'm telling y'all, it's possible. Let's go ahead and start prepping everything, shall we? So here's a quick look at all the ingredients we're going to be using for our nachos. And this is actually a really simple recipe. As I mentioned before, we're going to be making cashew cheese, and this is a great dairy-free option as long as you're not allergic. And then we're also going to be heating up and seasoning some black beans. And then we're going to be making a taco meat using this Beyond Beef. Now you can use whatever meat alternative you'd like, but we're using this for convenience and also to get that good meaty texture. And then we're going to season it using this McCormick taco mix. The X factor of this recipe are these organic white cheddar Doritos, and y'all, these add such a unique flavor element to the nachos. You can obviously use other tortilla chips for this, but we like to use these whenever we have the chance. So first, we're going to pre-prep our cashew cheese by adding 2.5 cups of cashews into our Vitamix, and then we're going to add some warm water and let this soak for at least 20 minutes. If you're in a time crunch, you don't have to do this, but it definitely makes the blending of the cashews a lot easier on the back end. And while that soaks, we're going to cut and prep all of our veggies. So we have our lettuce, our red bell pepper, we're going to dice those, some red onion, and some cilantro. And you can just store these in containers until it's time to build our nachos at the end. All right, next we're gonna heat up and season 2 cans of black beans in a small pot. We're gonna season these just with some garlic powder and some salt. Always a great combination. And then we're gonna give these a little stir just to get all the flavors integrated. And then we're gonna cover this and let it simmer on low heat for about 10 minutes. And while that's simmering, we're gonna prep our taco meat, adding olive oil and our Beyond Beef to a skillet. Now, even though we're adding the taco seasoning mix, I am going to add some garlic powder, cumin, and smoked paprika. This is totally optional. It's just something that we like doing before adding the taco mix, just to give it a little added flavor. And we're going to add our taco seasoning mix using the instructions on the packet, mixing it with water, and then we're going to pour it right in. We'll give it a little stir, and then, man, look at that, folks. I am starting to get hungry just looking at that bubbling. It is just amazing. Now we're going to cover and let this simmer as we make our cashew cheese. So for our cashew cheese, we're going to be adding 3/4 cup of nutritional yeast, and then a half tablespoon each of smoked paprika and cumin. Then we're going to add a teaspoon of salt, 1/2 of a chipotle pepper plus some of the adobo sauce that it's in, 2 cloves of garlic, and then optional garlic powder. I mean, hey, we just like garlic powder, y'all, plus some black pepper. We're gonna let this blend for at least a couple minutes. What's cool about the Vitamix is that it actually heats the cheese up for you, which is really convenient. And when you look at that, that's that nice smooth texture that we want. You can taste and adjust the flavorings as you desire. If you want more heat, add more chipotle peppers. If you want more cheesy flavor, add more nutritional yeast, so on and so forth. Now, Adrian and I use a specific technique when we build our nachos where we add the cool ingredients first and then the hotter ingredients on top, just so that everything is nice and warm when we're ready to eat it. And here's the moment we've been waiting for, folks. Oh, look at that cheese. It is flowing, y'all. That is the money shot. And now we're adding our plant-based taco meat, and then, man, check it out, folks. That is the lava effect in action. And we're gonna top it off by making it rain with some good old cilantro. I mean, folks, if your mouth ain't watering right now, I don't know what's wrong with you. Now it's time for us to break into this and give it a try. The chip is up, and now there is nothing but fireworks happening right now. Oh man, look at this guy. He's experiencing what we like to call a flavor overload. 2 thumbs up on this for sure. Now, speaking of nachos, we actually have a vegan nacho salad recipe that looks like a football field, y'all. It's perfect for game day parties or just because. Click on this video here in the top right if you want to see how to make that, and we'll see you over there. Peace.